You ever sell a pistol and then lose sleep for months wondering what the hell you were thinking? Yep. This video is for every shooter who ever traded something reliable for something shiny only to realize you just gave up the one gun that never failed you. The market's flooded with hype in 2025. Every ad, every dealer, every forum shouting about new tech and next-gen performance, but here's the truth. Some pistols don't need trends. They prove their worth the hard way. Thousands of rounds, brutal conditions, zero failures, and owners who'll never let them go. This isn't just another list. These are the 9mm pistols that real shooters trust so deeply they'd buy them again tomorrow, full price, without blinking. No regrets, no replacements, just ironclad reliability, shootability, and trust built round after round. If you're looking to buy just one pistol before 2026 hits, start right here, because missing out on these, that's a decision you'll regret. If you're still on the fence about getting an FN 509 compact MRD, don't wait. This is one of those rare pistols where the deeper you get into 2025, the more people are going to realize what they missed out on. I've carried this thing through dirt, snow, sweat, and streetwear. It never blinked once. It's got that low bore access that makes follow-up shots smoother than you'd expect from a duty-grade compact. Throw in an optic, and it becomes a whole different beast. The trigger isn't flashy, but it's reliable as hell, and that's exactly why I never hesitated with this one. With so many 2026 ready pistols pushing tech gimmicks and wild designs, this FN stays brutally simple, and that's where the value is. No regrets, no upgrades needed, just pure performance in a package that's going to survive the next wave of overhyped garbage coming next year. You want a gun that'll still feel like a smart buy in 5 years? This is it. Don't skip out on it. You don't expect much when you drop money on a Taurus, and I didn't either. But damn if the GX4 carry didn't flip that script for me entirely. I bought it thinking it'd just be a backup, something cheap to throw in a bag or stash in a drawer, but now I find myself reaching for it way more than I thought I did. It's slim, it runs clean, and it shoots straighter than half the pistols twice its price. Look, before 2026 rolls in with another wave of overpriced compacts and smart gimmick guns, this is the one you should buy and hold on to. It'll give you no regrets and no panic about resale value. You'll get every dollar out of it in pure usability. And Taurus finally got the trigger and texture right on this one. I know folks who ran 1,500 plus rounds through it without a hiccup. No fluff, just performance. If you're still riding that Taurus's trash wave, you're about to miss one of the best value pistols of this era, and by the time the rest of the crowd wakes up, you'll already have yours dialed in. And hey, for all the folks chasing logos and brand flexing, wait till you see what's 2 spots ahead. It might just stink. Every time I visit my cousin's ranch in Arizona, I bring the same gun with me. It's not supposed to be the flashiest or even the most expensive. Hell, it's not even optics ready. But the Shield Plus, it just works. We set up steel in that dry canyon wind, 25 yards, sometimes more, and this little compact runs like it's showing off. No jams, no fuss, just reliable fire and tight groups. What I love is how it disappears when I carry it. Slim enough for AIWB, but that 13+1 capacity means you're not short on confidence. And I've dropped this thing twice, still held 0 and still clean. That kind of durability doesn't make headlines, but it's the reason I never replaced it. So yep, before you blow your budget on something tactical and flashy for 2026, consider this. I trusted enough to lend it out, and that says a lot. Oh, and coming up next, it's one of the few full-size pistols I'd actually downsize my carry loadout for. Yep, It's that serious. People talk a lot about budget optics-ready pistols, but most of them skip the Ruger Max 9, and I don't get it. This thing's been on the market for a while, but it's still one of the few subcompacts under $400 that gives you a solid red dot cut right out of the box, and it actually holds zero. What sets it apart for me isn't just the price or size, it's the balance. At 18 ounces unloaded with a thin grip, it carries like a micro but shoots like something heavier. You get the 10 or 12 round mag options, front and rear serrations, tritium front sight, and a surprisingly flat trigger brake for a gun in this class. I know guys who've put over 2,000 rounds through theirs without a hiccup. It's not flashy, but it shows up every single time. If you're heading into 2026 and still don't have a dependable optics-ready micro, this one's sitting there like a quiet veteran, clean, and still punching above its weight. A buddy of mine runs a small training class every few months, mostly new shooters, a few LEOs brushing up. One afternoon, a guy walked in with a CZ P10F. Everyone else had Glocks, Sigs, or Caniks. Quiet guy, didn't say much, but by the second drill, everyone had stopped talking. The groups he was pulling, which were dead center and consistent, were no joke. No fancy optics, no compensator, just a bone stock P10F. We swapped guns later, and I finally got it. The grip feels like it's locked into your bones, the recoil stays low, and every press feels identical. It's one of those pistols that doesn't try to impress you, it just performs until you start wondering why you ever bothered with anything else. Heading into 2026, when people are paying for custom fit everything, this one already feels like it came built around you. It's not about hype, it's just a gun that reminds you what shooting right feels like. And if you think this one's smooth, wait till you see what's sitting a few spots higher. It might shake your carry list up real good. You want to talk about zero regrets? The P365X Macro isn't just some tactical trend or a micro pistol pretending to be a full-size gun. This thing redefines what a modern 9mm should be before 2026 even arrives. Sig somehow shoved 17 plus 1 rounds into a pistol that's only 1.1 inches wide, slimmer than some 10-round carry guns. And no, it doesn't feel cramped or top-heavy. It feels balanced, precise, deadly efficient. The built-in compensator isn't some gimmick either. That thing keeps your muzzle flatter than a pancake even during fast double taps. It's optics ready, already cut for red dots, and the grip module is one of the most comfortable I've held straight out of the box with no aftermarket frame needed. This is the gun that finally didn't give compact capacity any excuses. It's a range gun, a carry gun, and a duty gun all in one. Every year brings hype, but the X Macro is a quiet killer. Buy it before 2026 or you'll wish you did. Others may try, but this one already proved its worth. Nobody's talking about it, nobody's hyping it, and yet the Arex Delta Gen 2 Tactical might be the best kept secret in the 9mm world right now. It's made in Slovenia, not Austria or the US, and when you shoot it, none of that matters. This thing feels like a custom Glock 19 killer right out of the box. Threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, optics ready, flat face trigger, ambi controlled, a modular grip system, all for around $500. You would think it sounds fake, wouldn't you? This is where the but at what cost comes in, because the moment you fire it, you realize what most brands are overcharging you for. It's smooth, snappy, but in a good way, low bore access, and it's built to take abuse. One user buried his in sand, ran 1,500 rounds through it without cleaning, and guess what? 0 failures. Another ran it suppressed with a hollow sun and never looked back. This gun doesn't need a big name to prove itself. It's already built to win. before 2026 comes around, if you're sleeping on the Delta Gen 2 Tactical, you're leaving performance on the table, and trust me, you'll regret that. I'll be honest with you. When Glock dropped the 48 MOS, I thought it was going to be another forgettable single stack experiment, something only diehard Glock lovers would carry just to say they carry Glock. But then the damn thing grew on me, and before I knew it, it had replaced 3 of my favorite EDC pistols. Here's what they don't tell you on spec sheets. This gun feels invisible on the waistline. It's thin, but not weak. It's got full grip control, but it doesn't print. And when you slap a Holosun 407K on that MOS slide, you've now got red dot speed, backup Glock reliability, and a slim frame that disappears in a hoodie. But what really made me stop rotating carry guns was this. The Glock 48 MOS hits that perfect middle ground between the Glock 19 and Glock 43X without the compromises. I shoot this better than the 19 in tight spaces. I conceal it better than the 43X with a mag extension, and I haven't looked back ever since. You've got less than 3 months till 2026. If you're still bouncing between EDC pistols, this might just end the debate. But there's a certain European carry gun coming up next, and it might just do everything this Glock does, only louder. Now let me just say it. If you've never carried a Staccato, you've never really carried a duty-great pistol in your life. And yep, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell would anyone carry a $2,000 race-ready 2011? But I'll tell you what flipped me. A cop in Texas whose life quite literally depended on that trigger. You see, the Staccato P wasn't designed for Instagram show-offs or fancy range days. It was built for law enforcement teams who kick down doors and need a gun that won't jam, won't flinch, and won't hesitate. When that cop told me he dropped his in a mud pit during a raid, then fired 17 rounds clean through a windshield without cleaning it, I shut up and listened. This thing's a 9mm laser beam with the feel of a tuned 1911 and the mag capacity of a Glock 17. Flat recoil, stupid fast follow-ups, and a grip that locks your palm in like it was molded for your hand. Overkill for EDC? Maybe, but it's the pistol you buy when you're done buying excuses. It's worth carrying in 2025, but in 26, you'd better already have one. In Texas, there was this guy named Salur who ran a salvage yard. Quiet man, didn't trust many things, but he carried the same HK USP for over 2 decades. Used it once during a break-in, and it worked like it just came off the line. No gems, no questions, no regrets. That's what trust looks like, and that's exactly why the HK USP 9 still gets recommended in 2025. Built for the German military, this thing isn't your average plastic carry gun. It's over-engineered, heavy, and damn near indestructible. The recoil system alone feels like it was pulled from a tank. No, it's not optics ready, and yep, it's not the slimmest for appendix carry, but if you want a pistol that actually lasts, one you can pass down or trust in the middle of a night, this is it. You'll probably get newer and fancier guns down the line, but the USP 9, this is the one you'll still respect long after the others break. There's always one carry gun that shows up, does its job, and still gets zero credit. That would be the Canik TP9 Elite SC. Most folks are too busy drooling over Glocks or throwing money at the next Sig optic-ready blaster to notice this Turkish underdog, but here's the truth. This pistol can run with the best of them and maybe even outrun a few. You get a fantastic flat-face trigger right out of the box, better than most guns twice the price. The grip feels like it was designed by a guy who actually carries, not just draws on a whiteboard. Accuracy, dead on. Reliability, rock solid. And it's optics ready too, which throws it straight into 2025 territory. And for the price, you're basically stealing this gun. The only reason it's not in every waistband in Texas is because people haven't woken up yet. But numbers don't lie. This thing's climbing the charts in gun stores that know what shooters actually want. Some guns you buy just to have, while others you buy once and feel it in your damn soul. The EDC X9 is that second kind. It's not cheap, not easy to find, and it damn sure doesn't care about trying to impress anybody. What does it do? Deliver the most regret-free experience of any 9mm I've ever fired. You pull that trigger and the thing feels like a custom-tuned punch. No over-travel, no hesitation. Just steel, confidence, and control. You carry this gun and suddenly every other plastic striker-fired thing in your safe starts looking like a toy. It's not about bragging rights, it's about knowing you'll never have to second-guess your decision. People who buy it don't flip it later, they pass it on. If you've got the coin, this is one of those do it before 2026 moments. You wait too long and you'll just be stuck watching other folks live regret-free. You don't stumble into the Echelon by accident. It's the gun you discover after you've wasted years chasing hype, trends, and plastic clones with the soul of a toaster. The Echelon doesn't try to fit in, it shows up already evolved. With a fully modular fire control system, this thing doesn't just compete with the Glock 17, it dares it to get out of the way. Everything about it feels intentional, from the grip angle to the ultra-smooth slide travel. The recoil impulse is flatter, the trigger cleaner, and it sometimes manages to feel like it was built specifically for your hand. No loose rattles, no corner-cutting internals, just a refined beast that knows what it is. This ain't some gimmick gun that you'll overgrow next year. It's a full-sized workhorse that feels deliberate, and for 2026, it might just be the one pistol everybody else regrets sleeping on. But if you think this one was underrated, wait till you see what's hiding at number 2. A pistol that came back from the dead and now refuses to miss. There's a reason this gun keeps climbing back to the top. Not flashy or exotic, but the Glock 17 Gen 5 doesn't miss a beat. This thing's been on duty longer than some shooters have been alive, and yet in 2025, it still commands respect. You pull it out, and every experienced guy at the range just nods. They know. This Gen 5 model isn't just a lazy update either. Glock finally fixed the grip angle weirdness for a lot of shooters with the flared magwell. The trigger is smoother, the barrel's more accurate, and the finish, that NDLC, it wears better than your overpriced carry piece with the custom Cerakote job. This is what happens when a company doesn't try to impress, it just delivers. 17+1 capacity, no frills, no flinch. You throw it in dirt, you fire it in rain, and it still cycles like it's brand new. If your life depended on one pistol and you couldn't choose anything boutique or exotic, this would probably be it. Say what you want, this isn't the Glock fanboy choice, this is the no bullshit survival choice. You know what's funny? Some departments still refuse to ditch their Glocks even when their officers are begging for a better trigger, better grip texture, and a slide they can rack without slamming their palm into drywall. One sheriff's office out in Arkansas made that exact same mistake, stayed loyal to their Glocks because they never failed us until they did. 2 misfires on the range, 1 cracked exterior, and suddenly the chief was sending quiet emails asking for Walther PDP test units. That department carries PDPs now, and I don't blame them, because the PDP Compact is everything Glock refuses to evolve into. Insane ergonomics, super crisp trigger, factory optics cut with perfect plate compatibility, and a grip that actually feels like someone gave a damn when they designed it. You pull this thing out at the range, and every diehard Glock fan nods like, yeah, okay. If you've got room for just one more striker-fired pistol in your carry rotation before 2026, this is the one that'll leave no regret. But wait, there's a newer model out there with a secret that might blow this one out of the water, and it's not from Walther. Now this one's for the shooters who still believe in that old-school Italian finesse, but with a modern heartbeat. The Beretta ADX Cheetah is a 380, yeah, but don't roll your eyes just yet, because this little panther was reborn for 2025 with a trigger so smooth it'll make your Glock cry. You're getting a full aluminum frame that feels expensive and built tight with a slide that glides like silk. The ergonomics feels like it was molded for your hands. The recoil barely exists. And here's what matters. Folks are actually buying this thing. Not just old-timers or even collectors, real-world CCW guys who want style without sacrificing control. Is it the cheapest? Heck no. Is it the biggest hitter? Not at all. But when you pull this thing out at the range, heads turn for sure. It's like driving a classic Alfa Romeo, not built for the masses, but unforgettable once you get behind that wheel. So what makes the 9mm pistol zero regrets? It's not the finish and it's not the name. It's when you hit the range or strap it on for carry and it disappears into your muscle memory like it was built for your hands alone. It's when it eats every round, day after day, year after year, and never flinches, never jams, never lets you down. That's what all these pistols had in common. And if you're still sitting on the fence trying to pick your next 9mm, stop chasing the flash. Get something you'll never second guess. Because shooters who know, shooters who've been through it, they'll all tell you the same thing. Own the gun now or regret it later. This has been Steve, and I'll catch you guys later in the next one.